And what's up, guys, and welcome back to a new episode of Billionaire Takeover. And today we have seasons 11 and 12 ahead of us. And if you've liked this video, please leave a like, hit that subscribe button. We're almost on 75 subs, so go smash the buttons and let's get into the video. And today in Billionaire Takeover, as I've said before, we've got seasons 11 and 12. We're now at the start of season 11. Let's have a quick look at the transfers they've made. So far, they have bought in for 1.1 million. One signing goes by the name of Moises Ramses from Atlanta United. Never heard of him. He's 28 years old. He's a goalkeeper and not sure why they've brought him. Furthermore, they've got Xavier Pena from Olympique Marseille, a 21-year-old midfielder on loan from Olympique Marseille. They've bought Julien Coder from Lorient on a free, 24-year-old striker. Valery Bondar from Fulham on a loan, a 30-year-old. I think he's a Ukrainian center defender. They've bought in Santiago Askibar on a free transfer. Came over from Al Dunay out of Qatar. He's a 32-year-old Argentinian lad playing as either a defensive midfielder or a center midfielder. Then we've got Edward Leun on a free as well. Came over from Krasnodar, 32-year-old defender, defensive midfielder and center midfielder. Can basically play in every position as we can see up here, but he's natural in those three. And then we've got, as I've said, Moises Ramses for 1.1 from Atlanta. Here he is again. And then they've sold for quite a bit of money, starting off down here with Ousmane Diakité, sold for 19k to Stade Malien, a striker we had for a few seasons. Then they've also sold for 22.5 million Han Noah Masengo to Watford. He's going to be missed. Played 204 games for Red Star, scoring in 28 of those. Doing pretty good defensive midfielder. Then Maxence Prévost went to Brentford for 2.1. A goalkeeper who played for us, wasn't too good. Santiago Sosa went to Bournemouth for 4.3. Played 3 seasons and only played 38 games. Not too good. And then we've got Maurice Dubois, went to Arras on a free. Wesley Hood went to Spartak Moscow on a free as well. Ionoche Kelechi Iancho, sorry for that, went to Zenit on a free. Audrien Renault went to Niort on a free. Boris Todevoorde went to Portland on a free. And here we've got Radoslaw Majaki, not sure how to pronounce it, went to Roma for a fee of 1.4 million, 29-year-old goalkeeper. Played here for 3 seasons, had almost 90 caps for us and conceded 124, not too good. So far as we can see, he played 1 game for Roma and he conceded 4 goals, so there you have it. And we've got Jan Lofgren, who went on a loan to Entella, a young defender of us. And then Philippe Durand was sold to Nice for a fee of 1.1 million, a 15-year-old, which is a shame because, well, it's the youth. Why let him go? Alright, now for the rest, still national, still secure finances, average training facilities, below average youth facilities, stadium still the same. Key player already is Askiabar. Captain is still De Angelis, still playing there in that midfield role, and Monkini, our 20-year-old winger, is the hottest prospect. And let's see how they do now. Let's go to the end of the season. See you there. And here we have it, the end of the 11th season. De Angelis still captain, also the key player. Not sure why, probably it meant that they sold Askiabar already. The new hottest prospect, Nourandine Menat, a midfielder, 15 years old. Let's have a call. They upgraded their training facilities and the youth facilities. They're all state of the art now. They're doing pretty good on that front. Quick look at the competitions. Finishing 9th in Ligue 1 and getting knocked out in the quarterfinals. We'll have a look at how it went. They started off pretty poor. 2 defeats in a row by Lille and Reims. Then defeating Nantes. And after that losing to Auxerre, beating Metz, losing to Montpellier and Nice, beating Angers, and after that they beat Olympique Lyon, Saint Etienne and Lorient. Then a 4-0 defeat against PSG. Then they were beaten by Toulouse. They were beaten by Monaco as well, 3-1. Then they lost to Olympique Marseille, to Amiens. And after that poor run of losing 5 in a row, they beat Dijon, they beat Bordeaux, they drew with Reims, they beat Reims in the 9th round of the French Cup, lost to Reims 2-1, beat Dunkerque 1-0 in the 10th round, so they're already ahead of last year. Then they beat Nantes 2-0. Beating Lorient in the 11th round of the French Cup, beating Auxerre, beating Metz, and then they drew with Montpellier, and then they lost ultimately in the French Cup quarterfinals to Lille 3-1, unfortunate. After that they also lost to Nice, then they beat Angers, they drew with Olympique Lyon, sorry for that. They beat Saint Etienne, they beat Lorient, they lost 3-1 against PSG. Then they lost to 3-2 against Toulouse. They lost to Monaco 2-1, and then they drew with Olympique Marseille. They beat Amiens, lost to Dijon, drew with Bordeaux, lost to Reims, and on the last day they beat Lille 4-0. Which makes me wonder, why couldn't you do that in the French Cup? But anyway, that's how it went. Quick look at the transfers. They didn't bring in a hell of a lot more players after last time. Only 2.1 million is what they invested in their squad. So after Moses came in, Rachid Puyol from Nîmes for 325k, 19-year-old striker playing for the reserves. Then they brought in on loan Mauricio Carotti from Manchester United, another striker. He really scored 16 goals he scored 16 goals in 33 games, pretty good. Then they've brought also in on loan Guillermo Ortiz, 23-year-old attacking midfielder, played 10 games, scored in 2. And I'm wondering, he was a region of 28 years old, so he's one from the very start. And then they brought in Romain Lucin from Reims for 650k, 15-year-old attacking midfielder on the right. And then down here we've got some more players who were sold. Let's have a look. If we do it by date, please. Thank you. Yep, there we go. They only sold one more person, and that person was Sergio Camelo. Sold him for 8.25 million to Shakhtar. 29-year-old striker, played for Red Star for 2 seasons, playing in 38 games and scoring only 9 goals. So that was it for the 11th season. Let's see how they will do at the start of season number 12. And here we are, start of season number 12. The finances are now insecure. Still national reputation. Quick look at the transfer history. Sold for 625k. Sold Moses Ramsey to what club's that? Corinthians in Brazil for 625k. I think they made a loss on him. Yep, another loss. They really need to do something about their transfer strategy. They've brought in a few persons. Only 235k went in now. They've got Bogdan Negru on a free after he was already transfer free from us. Weird signing. Then Lucas Hernandez. We all know him, of course. He's playing at Bayern München right now. Can play as a left back and a centre back in this game. And he came to Red Star. Pretty good signing on free. They also brought in Oktay, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that last name, because it's definitely not English, but it sounds like Yesil Yurt, something like that. Came over from Swansea on a free, attacking midfielder on the right. Then Leandro Peruccio from Olympique Marseille on a free as well. A central defender. Then here Nathan van der Roy, a Belgium 17-year-old central defender as well. Douye Plaisona came on a free from us, apparently, I think. No, he's just randomly generated without a club. Can play on both attacking wings. And last but not least, Diego Antonio from Cruzio came in for 235k, 18-year-old central midfielder. And let's have a look. Anything else changed? No, not that I can see of. Let's go towards the end of the season. And here we are at the end of the season. They apparently have a loan depth of almost 30 million. So they took out a loan this season. They got okay finances, and their training facilities went from state of the art to poor over a season. So I think they sold their training facilities, because I can't imagine anything else. I think they did. That's a shame. Well, anyway, let's have a quick look at the competitions. Finishing 16th, that's poor. Only 6 points above the drop zone after finishing so high at in the other seasons, and also getting knocked out in the 9th round by Metz in the French Cup. The media prediction was that they would end up 7th. So they dropped a lot. Let's have a look at the schedule. Although I think it's quite red. Started off by losing against Rennes, then beating Nice, losing to Amiens 4-0. That's a heavy defeat against poor club. Then got beaten by Olympique Marseille, Olympique Lyon. They drew with Reims, lost against Metz. They beat Lille 3-1, drew with Dijon, lost to PSG, lost to Monaco, lost to Saint-Etienne. No, they drew with Saint-Etienne. They lost against Nantes. They beat Reims. They lost to Strasbourg. They beat Bordeaux. They beat Auxerre. Lost against Toulouse, even though it was a very close one. They lost against Montpellier. They lost a friendly. They lost immediately in the French Cup 3-0 against Metz. Very poor. Got beaten by Nice 4-0. Also poor. Drew 2-2 with Amiens. Lost to Olympique Marseille. Lost to Olympique Lyon. Lost to Reims. Beat Metz this time in the league. Lost to Lille. Beat Dijon 3-0. lost to PSG in what I can only describe as a pretty close game. Lost to Monaco, beat Saint-Etienne, drew with Nantes, lost to Lens, RC Lens, lost to Strasbourg, lost to Bordeaux, beat Auxerre, drew with Toulouse, beat Montpellier, beat Reims, and that was it for this season. So they had a pretty poor season this year. Quick look at the transfer history. Sold for 34.5 million. That's a lot. Let's have a look where that money came from. Alright, so it started off by loaning out Octay to Vavsi. Then they loaned out Louis Briand to Consenza. Sold Alias Akli to Florentina for 8 million. 25-year-old played 70 games for us in the span of 3 seasons. And then they loaned out Régis Pujol. They sold Edouard Lowen to Copenhagen. Made some money on him. Then they loaned out Diego Antonio. They loaned out Ibrahima Colli. Loaned out Brian Perrault. They sold Julian Couder to Nantes for 525k, so they made a profit on him as well. Lucas Hernandez was sold to Huddersfield for 2.9 million, so they made good money on him. They sold Brendan Soppy to Leeds for 6 million. Did they make money on him? No, they lost a lot of money on him. And last but not least, David de la Vibora was sold to Fenerbahce for 15.75 million, in which they do have a small loss, and that's pretty unfortunate. But still, they brought in a heck of a lot more money than the previous. No, they made more money on that one than they brought in place for, so they still made a profit overall this season. And to be honest, I hope they can one day win Ligue 1. The Tycoon is now going to pump in another 500 million, and apparently the owner status is now in process of a board takeover. So it's going to be exciting news. They probably will have a new owner by the next few seasons. But the Tycoon is going to sell it to another Tycoon because he's not happy by the way things are going right now. So he's going to sell to another Tycoon, and who knows, maybe that Tycoon will be even richer than the last one. In that case, he might pump in a hell of a lot more money. But for now, that was it. If you've liked this video, leave a like, and I'll see you guys on Wednesday for a new tactic tester. See ya.